Good morning. It's Friday, November 12th, and the House Committee on the January 6th Capitol riot has issued another slamming set of subpoenas. 10 on one day, another 5 to Mike Pence's staff, and they are interested in gathering information from the 5 members of the Vice President's staff, because apparently many of them were in position on January 6th to see exactly what President Trump was doing. In fact, Mike Pence's personal advisor was with Trump all day that day. And we all saw the pictures of Mike Pence running from his office with protection to get away from the rioters on January 6th. Because Mike Pence was in the dead center of this thing. Mike Pence had been ordered by the president to declare the election null and void. Mike Pence was a definite, important figure on January 6th. And meanwhile, President Trump has continued to attempt to stymie the handover all the documents. And a federal judge declined Trump's effort to pause the document handover and said something like, "You are not a king, you were just the president." Now, of course, that probably didn't go over very well with Donald Trump, because he did believe that he was a king. But this judge said, no way, you cannot do the things that you were doing. You cannot run around and do anything you're trying to do. You have no right to executive privilege at all. So the National Archives are prepared to send the records to the House on Friday. That's today, actually. And Trump is scrambling like crazy for another temporary hold. But what bothers me about this entire situation is the fact that all of these subpoenas have been issued, and no witnesses have stepped forward to tell their story. They have just stonewalled the committee. And I don't know what's supposed to happen. I don't know what leverage the committee can. This has something to do with the fact that the Justice Department is the one that has to track these people down and force them to testify. And that shouldn't even be necessary. Their duty is to this country, not to an individual. The people who are asked to testify worked for the government. Yes, Trump was their boss, but they worked for the government. They have a loyalty to this country that they are discarding like a tissue paper. That's a disgrace. It's a disgrace that the committee cannot get these people to come in and testify. However, it looks like 1 or 2 of the Pence people are willing to testify. And that would be an important breakthrough. It's very important that we get somebody there to tell the story. This cannot go on forever. You know, the longer it takes for this committee to come to a conclusion, the better it is for the Republicans come the elections of 2022. The committee has not done the job that it was set up to do. Then we are in deep trouble, because there's a lot that happened on January 6th that we need to know about as the public. It needs to be taken care of. Well, maybe on Friday, today, when the National Archives send the records over, something will be clarified. But how long is it going to take to go through 700 plus documents? I don't know. Who's going to read all that stuff? You're going to have an army of readers and interpreters to figure out exactly the meaning of everything that was going on that day. Get out of it. This is a matter of national security. This is an emergency meeting. This can set the tone of this country for many years to come. This is a very important committee, and they are being treated like dirt, because these people who have been subpoenaed have just ignored them. That's not a good sign. It's not a good example. You can't let them get away with that. You can't believe The price should be very, very stiff. You have Steve Bannon, who's still walking around. Maybe if he was seen in jail and handcuffed behind bars, allowed only 1 hour a day for exercise, some of these people might think differently about defying the subpoena. And maybe not. I do not understand how people who came to work for the government of the United States believed that they worked for Donald Trump and not the government of the United States. Judge shot that down. The judge said, "You're not a king. You're just a plain old president." That must have gotten to Donald Trump's core. In any event, that's what I think. That's the way I feel today, the day after Veterans Day. I think it's a terrible thing that we can't get this committee rolling. The Republican Party wins in 2022. We will have government small in mind and small in body. It's a terrible situation. So I leave you with all of that this morning, and I say bye.